It does feel like we're reaching some sort of turning point in this war. I mean, with the surrender of these different troops, with the water that we're pumping, nearly 600 IDF soldiers, it could be a friend of yours, someone you know, have been wounded. There's lots that have lost their eyesight, their hearing, just injured in hospitals. Pray for their quick recovery. But I want to ask you, what's one of the most dangerous things you've done? Tell me in your life. I want you to write it in the comments. What have you done that has been something worthwhile that you said it might risk life and limb, but I'm willing to do it for the greater good, and I'm not just talking about a bungee jump. Well, you know what? Put anything in the comments that you've done that you feel is scary, but you overcame your fear. That's what every single soldier does that comes to the base, that comes into the Gaza and stands in the gap. And the fighting is heavy in Khan Yunis in the south, and you've heard the biggest leader on the ground here, Sinwar. Sinwar is like the military commander under Ismail Haniyeh. But there's lots of others, Saleh al-Aruri, there's Mohammed Def, there's Marwan Issa, there's Mahmoud al-Zahar, there's Mohammed Taha, a bunch of Dukhan. But Sinwar, I just was thinking about this. It's like the Hebrew word sinver, which is like a blinding light, something that blinds you, and you don't see what's going on because you're blinded in the light. And that's kind of what's happening. The Hamas has put up such a deception, such a smokescreen. They just put out so many lies, but now it's all coming down. The truth will set you free. And I'm seeing that, he's escaped, I guess, to southern Gaza from the north in a humanitarian convoy or something. And we don't know what tunnel he's in, but we are looking for him for sure. And, at the same time, Lebanon's not slowing down. It's just heating up like a pot boiling over. And what about all the increased tensions with Yemen?
فإن القوات المسلحة اليمنية تعلن عن منع مرور السفن المتجهة إلى الكيان الصهيوني.
What are we going to do with all this? And we just got to stand up for what's right and shine the light in this time. And I'm amazed to see people who choose to be blinded and choose to believe falsehood and choose to ignore the truth. And then there's those who stand for the truth and say, we stand on the truth. We speak boldly. We shine the light. We stand in the gap like people like Trump.
We reaffirm the everlasting solidarity with the Jewish people, and we go forward confident with God's help. In the end, light will overcome this horrible darkness.
John Voight, Dr. Phil.
If Hamas behavior does not cross the line, then you don't have one. If your representative or senators are lined up with the values of these three university presidents, you need to get new ones. If they are big social warriors for women's rights, but all of a sudden lost their voice when the victims were Jews, you need to kick them to the curb.
Really, there's a whole bunch. Chris Pine, all these guys, 700 plus famous people that signed a letter standing with Israel. And it's monumental because truth is like, people don't want to, truth doesn't matter to people anymore. Even if you prove to them the truth, they want to believe a lie. I mean, when I was there showing that tunnel that I found in a hospital, people were saying like, well, what if he faked it? What? It's also a wonderful pleasure to be able to supply these heroes with bulletproof vests.
To the Aliyah Return Center, thank you very much for the vest and the pouch.
Aliyah Return Center, thank you very, very, very much. Infinitely grateful. This vest is amazing. We really, really needed it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much for the new ceramic vest. It will most definitely help us to perform our duty in a more professional way. Thank you very much.
So my name is Ben Zeltzer. I say really thank you for this vest, for this ceramic vest. It's gonna help me a lot. And this donation was incredible. And I want to thank you a lot. Am Yisrael Chai.
As well as essentials, for families that have fled the rockets, the terror, their homes, their life, they're lighting the candles of Hanukkah, fully dependent on people like us, charities like us. So thank you for making them smile. And, when I think of Hanukkah and I think of the menorah and I think of the light in the darkness, the victory of the Maccabees, and I just turned to Zechariah 4 and I read this and I marvel because this is God's living room furniture. Turn to Zechariah 4. And the angel that came with me, and the angel that talked with me came again, and he waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep. And he said unto me, what do you see? And I said, I have looked, and I behold a candlestick all of gold with a bowl on top of it, and its 7 lamps thereon, and the 7 pipes of the 7 lamps which are on the top thereof. And the 2 olive trees are by it, one on the right side of the bowl, and the other on the left side thereof. And so I answered, and I spoke to the angel that talked with me, saying, what are these, my Lord? And the angel said to me, and he answered me, don't you know what these are? And I said, no. And then he answered and spoke to me and saying, this is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, you will become a plain. The same thing. Who are you, Hamas? Who are you, Islamic Jihad? Who are you, Izzeldin al-Qassam? Who are you, ISIS? Who are you, Taliban? Who are any of you? You're nothing before the God of Israel. And this mountain that stands in the way will become a plain. So that's what I want to say is, let's stand up for what's right in these times and let the light shine. Hey, we don't have long until this war, I believe, will be concluded.